Did you know that there was a Brazil World Destruction event which deleted the entire map? Did you know that? No. Yeah, well, of course you didn't know that. Because only 0.01% of players have even ever seen this event happen. And in this video, I'll be showing you more of these events. Starting off with the Saw event. Now the Saw raid boss, everybody has already seen this event before. This guy spawns every 1 hour and 15 minutes and drops the Shark Saw, which is a pretty mid sword for how much time this boss takes to spawn. But next is the Greybeard raid event. Now, this event actually takes 6 hours to spawn. You heard me right, 6 hours. And if you kill this raid boss, you can get 3 levels, 10,000 money, and be sent to V2, which is not very rewarding considering that it takes 6 hours to spawn. But anyways, let's move on to the next one, which is in the second sea, the Cursed Captain raid event. Now this is another raid boss that 87% of players have already seen. This guy spawns like every third night and can drop the Hellfire Torch, the blue spiky coat, the red spiky coat, and some good amount of ectoplasm. Again, not very rewarding, but definitely better than the Greybeard. Now moving on to the next one, the Order event. Now the Order event, 80% of players have seen this event because it's very easy to spawn this guy. You just need a couple thousand fragments to buy this microchip and spawn this guy. Now this guy drops some pretty good stuff. He drops the Coco Sword, the Zebra Cap, and 3 levels, which is really nice. Definitely a big step up from the last one. But the next one, 76% of players have seen this event right here, and it is the Factory event. Now the Factory event is one of the most useful events. It can drop the Acidium rifle, and most importantly, it drops a random fruit to the person who dealt the most damage. So either you could get a rocket fruit, or you could get the spirit fruit like I got right here. Hey, look at that, the power of the newbie luck. Subscribe so you can also get the newbie luck. Now the next event is pretty crazy. With a whopping 69% of players ever seeing this event happen is the Sea Beast event. Now the Sea Beast event is particularly crazy in the second sea because it has a pretty low chance to spawn, and when you defeat it, there's a chance to get the Fists of Darkness, and only 60% of players have ever gotten the Fist of Darkness. And look at that, we got 2 right here. Newbie luck again, man, I'm telling you, you gotta get it. And using this Fist of Darkness, you can trigger the next event, which is the Darkbeard raid boss. Now this event, 58% of players have seen this event happen, and this event is pretty nice. It drops a Dark Fragment, which can be used to upgrade the Dark Blade, and also it can drop the Dark Coat. Now this Dark Coat is pretty rare, with only 10% chance of dropping, and honestly, it's a pretty good accessory. But our next event takes place in the third sea, and it's the Sea Castle event. Now the reason why this event is even this rare is because most players don't even reach the third sea to even see this event happen. But this event is very similar to the Factory event. You beat the raid, and you get a fruit. Oh, look at that, a portal fruit. Bro, newbie luck again. But the next event is the Cake Prince event, and this one is also pretty easy to spawn. You just need to kill 500 NPCs in the Cake Island, and you can just spawn it. And this raid boss event can drop the Pale Scarf and the Spiky Trident, which both are really good drops. But from this next event, we get to the point where less than half of the Blox players have ever even seen these events. Coming in at 45% of players seen is the Soul Reaper. Now, the Soul Reaper isn't really that crazy of a boss, but it's really hard to spawn him. Because first step, you need to grind a lot of bones. And then the second step is to be really lucky and roll the Hallow Essence, which is a 1% chance from the Death King. Yeah, it's pretty hard to spawn. But this guy isn't really all that crazy. He just drops the Hallow Sight and some other accessory, which I already forgot about. It's irrelevant. Then after that, the next rarest event is the Terror Shark with the shark anchor on its tail. Now the reason why this is rare is because the Terror Shark has a moderate chance of spawning. And also, for it to spawn with a shark anchor, you need to craft a monster magnet, which is kind of tedious to craft. But after that, the next rarest thing is getting the Chalice. Now, just like the Fist of Darkness in the second sea, getting the Chalice is pretty hard. Either you can get the Chalice from killing the Sea Beast or from the Elite Hunter quest. Or if you wait 4 hours, then you can get it from a chest. Now, only 38% of players have gotten a Chalice in their entire playthrough of Blox, so kinda crazy. But the next event, with only 36% of players ever seen this event happen, is the Rip in the Raid boss. Now to spawn the Rip in the Raid boss, it's pretty easy. You just need all the 3 legendary hockey colors and the Gauss Chalice. And this event drops the Dark Dagger and the Valkyrie Helm, which both of them are pretty good. But the next one is the Mirage Island. Now the Mirage Island is rather an interesting event. It's a whole island that spawns randomly in any danger level, and it despawns in 15 minutes. Now the unique thing about this event is, this event contains a lot of fragment chests and a lot of diamond chests, and also advanced fruit dealer. So the advanced fruit dealer actually has a minimum of 7 fruits in stock, whilst the regular can have a minimum of 3 fruits in stock. And the advanced dealer actually has a better chance for having a legendary fruit or a mythical fruit in stock. And also, the restock time for the advanced dealer is 2 hours, while the regular dealer is 4 hours. It's just the same as the regular fruit stock, but just much better. And apart from that, you can also get the blue gear for the race V4 on this island, which makes this island very unique. But the next one is the Rumbling Waters. With only 30% of players ever seen it, the Rumbling Waters is rather rare. Now, it's basically like spawning a sea beast, but 3 times. It drops the most amount of money, and also you're most likely gonna die if you try to solo this. So yeah, quite an event. But the next one is even rarer, and only 28% of players have ever seen this event happen, and it is the Legendary Sword Dealer. Now the thing about the Legendary Sword Dealer is that he spawns like every 3 hours or 4 hours, which is a lot of time. And it's also really easy to miss too, because he despawns just after 15 minutes. So let's say you go AFK for 15 minutes to touch grass or something, you'll miss him like that. So yeah, quite a painful event, but also very rewarding too, because he sells you the 3 legendary swords, which is the Sadi, Shishui, and Wando. And the cool thing about these legendary swords is that you can combine them to make the true triple katana, which is a really OP sword. But the next event is the Dough King. Now the Dough King is basically the Cake Prince, but with way more health. And he also uses the Awaken moves of Dough. Yeah, quite a painful boss to fight. And the only useful thing this boss drops is the Mirror Fractal and the red key for the Dough Raid. So yeah, honestly not that worth it in my opinion. But moving on, the next event is the Haunted Shipwreck. Now the Haunted Shipwreck is an event that I myself haven't seen that many times. But basically it's a shipwreck that spawns only in danger level 6. And when you encounter it, it will spawn a ghost ship raid, ghost sharks, and also some haunted crew members. And after you kill those, you can go into this room and collect some gold, diamond, silver, and fragment chests. But the next rarest event is the Legendary Aura Color. Now, if you encounter this guy selling a Legendary Aura Color, consider yourself lucky, because this guy spawns every 25 minutes and has a very low chance to sell the Legendary Aura Color. And you can buy these Legendary Aura Color for 7,500 fragments. And when you buy these, you can come to me to switch your Aura Color. But the next event is pretty unique. With only 18% of players ever seen this event happen, is the Kitsuna Shrine. Now the thing about the Kitsuna Shrine is that it only spawns on a full moon. And when you get it, you can turn that full moon into a blue moon for the next 5 minutes. Then you have to collect Azure Ambers that spawns around you. Now you can exchange this Azure Amber to the Kitsuna Shrine for either the Kitsune Aura Color, the Tail Beast title, the Fox Lamp, the Kitsune Mask, or the Kitsune Ribbon, or the rarest, actual Kitsune Fruit. Personally, I've never gotten a Kitsune Fruit from this, but it is possible, but it's really, really, really rare. But the next event takes it to another level, and it is the Leviathan event. Now this is especially the hardest event to ever spawn. With only 12% of players ever seen this event, this one is crazy. Because first of all, you need to give a lot of fragments to this guy to get a chance to spawn the Leviathan. Then you have to sail in the sea for the next hour or 2, and maybe, just a big maybe, it might spawn. But this Leviathan is really useful, because you can craft a bunch of stuff with what it drops. You can get the Leviathan Crown, the Leviathan Shield, the Beast Hunter Boat, the Legendary Scroll, the Mythical Scroll, and the Sanguine Art. Yeah, that's quite a lot of rewards, but it is really painful to spawn, so good luck with this. But the next one is twice as rare as the Leviathan, and it is the Devil's Luck. Now, only 6% players have ever seen this event happen, and the way you get this event to happen is first, you have to pray at the gravestone. Yeah, that's it. You just have to pray to the gravestone and get really lucky. And you might get the Devil's Luck, which gives you the God's Chalice, the Hallow Essence, quite a bit of money, 1,000 fragments, and also the Devil's Luck title, which is quite a lot of stuff. But next is a feat that not many have achieved, and it is getting 30 million bounty. Yeah, it's shocking, but you're more likely to get the Devil's Luck than to get 30 million bounty. Now, the thing about 30 million bounty is that it takes takes a long time and a lot of skill to get to. So yeah, it's pretty rare to get this. But the next event is even rarer, and it is meeting a YouTuber. Now the reason why this event is especially rare is because YouTubers normally don't even go in the public servers. So meeting one is really rare. But the next thing is even rarer than the last one, and it is getting a fruit from the ship raid. Now, getting a fruit from the ship raid is like a 1.5% chance. And if you do get a fruit from the ship raid, it being a mythical fruit is even rarer. And not that many people have even gotten a fruit from the ship raid before. I mean, I haven't. I've never gotten a fruit from a ship raid before. So yeah, this is quite a rare event. But the next one is even rarer. Coming in at 1% is getting a blessing. Now, there's not that many people who have blessing on their sword or gun. It's crazy hard to get because first of all, you gotta craft a legendary or a mythical scroll. Then you gotta get really lucky, like really lucky. I spent like 50,000 Robux before just gambling, and yeah, I barely got any blessings. But next up is even rarer than a blessing, and it is getting a curse. With only 0.5% players having it, this one is especially rare because there's only 2 curses in the game right now. There's the curse of Thief and the curse of the Reaper. And yeah, it is far more rare than getting a blessing. I got like 10 blessings before I got 1 curse. It is that rare. And yeah, I spent more than 50,000 Robux just absolutely gambling, and I got only 1 curse. It was rough. But getting a curse might seem easier when you compare it to the next one, which is getting a Kitsune fruit from the Kitsuna Shrine. Now this only has a 0.1% chance of happening, and very few people have ever had this happen to them. Now encountering the Kitsuna Shrine is difficult enough, but somehow getting so lucky to get the Kitsune fruit from the Kitsuna Shrine is crazy luck. Like, I've done more than 100 Kitsune Shrines, and I have never gotten a Kitsune fruit. It is that rare. But getting a YouTuber title is even rarer. Only 0.05% players even have a YouTuber title. So yeah, it's pretty rare. But admin joining your game is even rarer because again, just like YouTubers, admins almost never join a public server, so meeting them can be really tough. But the next one, remember how I said getting 30 million bounty is one of the rarest feat, but getting 30 million bounty on both pirate and marine is even harder, and only 0.02% players even have it. Now the thing about this is that you have to first be very skilled at the game and bounty hunt a lot. Now once you get 30 million on pirate, then you have to do the same thing over again on marine. So it's just crazy hard to do this. No luck involved, but it's just crazy hard to do. So yeah, this is another very rare event. Now remember how I said meeting an admin is rare? But if you do meet one, they might spawn the Kamui world. Now, only 0.01% players have ever seen the Kamui world, and you can't get to this world normally. Admin has to send you to this. So yeah, pretty rare dimension, but it's pretty empty, just like my brain. So Now the next one, with only 0.009% players have ever seen this, it is the Red Legion Hideout. Now, the Red Legion Hideout honestly gotta be my favorite dimension right here, because it kind of just looks like we're basically in heaven. Look at all these clouds, these wing thingies, these golden stuff, and this metal stuff. I don't know what this is. And the sky bridges, bro, it just looks really nice. And also, there's a big throne right here. It kind of looks like a toilet though, not gonna lie. No way! Yeah, but that's basically the entire dimension. Now the next one, just like the Red Legion Hideout, is the Rip Family Hideout. Now this one, only 0.006% players have seen this. There's not really much to see here though. Look at this, it's just a bunch of doors and a bunch of doors. Like, there's nothing to this. It's just doors. That's entirely it for this dimension. I mean, it's just doors. Nothing really to see here. But the next dimension is even rarer. With only 0.003% people have seen this, it's the Admin Arena. Now, the Admin Arena, for now, somehow it's in the frozen dimension. I don't know why that's the case, but it is in the frozen dimension right now. But it used to look something like this when it was not in the frozen dimension. I don't know what happened here. Why is it in the frozen dimension? But yeah, it is in the frozen dimension. Alright, but the next one is pretty deadly if you experience this one. And the name is pretty damn deadly too. Look at this. The Gonic Candle of the Vermilion Yeah, that's the name. And only 0.02% people have ever seen this. It basically summons a bunch of meteors and it just kills everything that is in the radius. So yeah, not an event that I would recommend experiencing, but cool event anyways. Well, if you thought getting 30 million bounty on both Pirate and Marine were crazy, wait till you hear this one. It is getting the Pirate King title. Now, getting the Pirate King title is one of the hardest titles to get because you need to be online in the game for 72 hours while owning a crew that is top 10 on the leaderboard. Yeah, it's crazy. And not to flex or anything, but I have this title right here. Look at this. There's me. But the next one is so rare that I've never experienced this myself either. And it is the Fruit Rain. Only 0.001% people have ever seen this happen. And trust me, I'm not pulling these numbers, okay? From here, the percentages just don't make sense at all because only a couple of people out of the millions of Blox players have ever even seen these stuff happen. So that's why the percentages here are ridiculously low. And the Fruit Rain right here is, well, just like the name, Fruit Rain, it just rains a bunch of fruits right here. Now basically, admin can spawn a Fruit Rain, and this Fruit Rain is like, the admins never do this. They never spawn a Fruit Rain, ever. But if they ever do spawn one, technically it is the best ever way to farm for fruits. But it's not gonna happen to any of us, so I mean, we're good. Alright, but the next one is the Haunted Ghost Ship. Now this is another admin command where they can turn any ship into a ghost ship that flies. Isn't that just the coolest thing ever? Oh, look at us, we're flying. Damn, this thing is fast. But up next is another achievement which is really hard to get, and it is getting 1 billion money. Not 1 million, billion with a B. Now this is the maximum amount of money that anyone can get. You can't go above 1 billion money. I don't know why anyone would need this much money, but 0.0008% players have gotten this kind of money. And I don't know why they even have that much. And look at my money. I'm completely broke compared to the 1 billion. I am far from 1 billion. You know what? If I get enough comments, I will try to get 1 billion money. But the next one, only 0.0006% people have ever seen it happen. And it is the Colossal Titan event. Now, I'm sure most of you have never even heard of this. It's just that rare. Like, only a handful of people have ever seen this event happen. But it's basically when the owner of the game joins and turns into a massive colossal titan that you have to take down. The last time this event ever happened was in 2022. But the next one is even rarer and is probably never gonna happen to any of us. And it is getting the true triple dark blade. Now only 0.00004% people even have the true triple dark blade, and that amounts up to only what, 20 people or something. It's really rare. The only ways to get the true triple dark blade is either be an admin or a staff or just be really lucky. But more importantly, where's my true triple dark blade, Indra? Where is it? Yo, let's start a protest and get me the true triple dark blade. Hashtag give officialnoobie true triple dark blade. But the next one is even rarer. Almost impossible, to be honest. And it is all mythical fruits being on stock. And this has a 0.00006% chance of even happening. It's wild. So yeah, I don't think this event will ever happen. But if it does happen, I will give everyone my title. And speaking of titles, or more specifically, custom titles that nobody can really get. And by custom titles, I don't mean the droppable titles like, my title, Officially a Noob. It's these titles right here. Look at this. King Toad Official. There's actually one more right here called the Invalid Jason title. I have no clue what this title is, but that is another custom title. There's another one right here. Some Japanese letters and Cult of Asura. Now, these titles are not obtainable at all, but the owner of the game gave these titles to them. So it's crazy rare if this ever happens to you. But the next one is even rarer, and it is the Mihawk boss. I'm 99% sure that you have never heard of this event happen, and it's a very secret boss that never spawns now. The last time this raid boss spawned was in 2019. Bro. And this raid boss spawns in the Colosseum in the second sea, and when you defeat the Mihawk boss, you get a dark blade. But the next one also gives a dark blade, and it is the Brazil cube. Now, lucky for me, I've actually gotten this cube before, and here's the footage. Serpent respawned this Brazil cube right here, and out of all of these people, I was able to snatch it right there. Hey, we got it! And that text up there means receive Dark Blade in English. But the next event takes the cake for being the second rarest, because this has happened only once ever, and only like 10 people were able to see this, and it is the Brazil World Destruction event. Basically, it only happened once in this very lucky server to this very lucky person, or unlucky person, because this event basically started deleting the entire map one by one chunk by one block by one. It just kept deleting the entire world while turning it into Brazil colors. Oh my god, it's all Brazil! It's all Brazil! And yeah, after that event, nothing remained. It was all just Brazil. But the Brazil World Destruction was still not as rare as this next one. This next one has never happened and most likely will never happen. And it is all fruits being on stock. Now this percentage right here has so many zeros that I don't want to say it, but I'll still say it. This has a chance of 0.00000000000000000000000000000000000000000% chance of happening. Yeah, that was a lot of zeros. I don't even know if I said the correct amount of zeros. Okay, let me put this in perspective, this number. It is 1 in 10 quadrillion. That is, I didn't even know that number existed. I didn't even know that. Let me put this in another perspective. You can get struck by lightning 10,000 times before all fruits come on stock. That's crazy. This percentage is so low that this event will probably never happen at all. And if it does, it'll probably happen in like 1 billion years or something. I don't know. But if this ever does happen, I will gift every single player on Blox fruits all the permanent fruits. Actually, I take that back. Alright, well, we're probably never gonna witness these last events. But, you know what you should witness is this video right here, where I tell the hidden secrets of Blox shoes that only 1% of you might know. So go ahead, click right here. And also make sure to witness the subscribe button, and bye.